Ladies and gentlemen, check the calendar. It's Friday, and it can only mean the United States High School Champions League starting 11 or thereabouts with Terry Michler and Kevin Whalen, ladies and gentlemen.
Friendly Friday, Kevin. Here we are. Finally Friday.
All right, then.
So, time to wrap up the week. Put a closure to the week.
Isn't that something?
Been a good week again for you, though. You had some nice guests on this week again.
Oh,
How about Jim Hart and his plans to try to get Champions League in Alaska? That's a pretty good reach right there.
oh, and the possibility. It's a
road trip the teams have to take, where it takes them like 18 hours.
yeah.
To get somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and it is a formal possibility that could happen.
Yeah,
They
right.
love soccer up there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
That would be something.
Jesus.
And if I can pull it off, we know that Jim Hart can pull it off.
Yeah,
It's going to happen. It's going to happen through Jim Hart.
Balumpa. Yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah. Well, he's got a fan base, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right, we ready to roll on my topic today?
Yeah, because we got a sponsor Thursday, and that's a new thing you might not have heard of, but on Thursdays we're going to have sponsors, the national sponsors, to come on and do their deal and teach us about the game, share it. And they had Tim McAvoy with that select soccer ball.
Mm.
I mean, you can't. If there's a league that doesn't have select as their official ball, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to be associated with it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, man, that is a ball.
When you've got the best, you don't need to look for better. Yeah.
I feel a T-shirt coming on. Yeah. Okay.
Copy that.
Yeah, and hopefully Athletic Republic could say, hey, well, I could get you a little fine line in that T-shirt. You could go from 5 to 3X right away.
We're waiting on him to step up, though.
Yeah.
We posed the challenge. Now they have to respond to it.
And we kind of like lost out somehow with our beautiful sponsor, the guys from, I forgot, Fast Lane Convenience.
Yeah, it's kind of from what I heard, it was a family-run business, and that family is in the position, I think, where they're going to be out of the business. So it was more of the internal thing than external. So it wasn't anything that they were taking away from us. It's just that the ownership changed and the direction changed with it. So
Yeah.
we appreciate what they did up to.
Oh, absolutely. And so there you go. We always have a room for sponsors. Maybe you can get those people where you live to sponsor up.
Well, it's a good cause, They're definitely a good cause.
Yeah. Well, because you got the best. Why you want to go with any of the? You can't find better.
Right. Why look for better when you got the best?
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Now, you got me out of the mix, and it's all you, Terry. Go at it.
All right. Kevin, I'm going to talk about something kind of weird today, but I'm going to try my best to wrap it back up into a soccer story with a soccer angle. And if I'm going to talk about trees, Tree, a tree. Why would I want to talk about a tree? Kevin, do you know how many ways a tree grows?
Yeah.
How many ways, Kevin?
Oh, okay. Up, down, and out.
Oh, great for you. Good for you. Yeah. I'm focused. That's going to be kind of my theme here today as I talk about the soccer part of it. With the tree, let's stay with the tree for a minute, right? Trees. First of all, you plant a tree, especially if you're not getting one that's already been developed. Let's say we're starting from scratch, and you're going to plant for a tree. So the first thing you got to do is you got to find some ground that's going to be suitable for growing a tree. You got to dig your hole, and then you got to plant the seed or whatever roots, whatever it is. So you start first at the foundation. You start below the surface, and that's step one. And then after you've got that, then you start nurturing that, and you make sure that environment, the ground around it, stays in a way that it can promote growth. You don't want to plant for a tree on a bed of rocks. So you want to make sure that soil is good, and that you keep that soil in position where the tree can grow. So you water it and whatnot. Then in time, the tree then will break through the surface and start its upward growth. At the same time, it's still growing below surface as the roots are getting deeper and spreading out, branching out. So there's growth on two angles here, one below and one above the surface. Now, once the tree gets into full bloom, then you're hoping that it has a strong base and that it can withstand wind and weather, and that the branches are solid enough that they might be able to hold fruit, if that's the kind of a tree that it is, right? And, for kids' sake, if it's strong enough for kids to climb and maybe even build a tree house and add some different dimensions to it, okay? And then maybe let's talk about a Christmas tree, for instance, because that's a tree. It goes through the same procedures. But the Christmas tree is one that when we bring into the home, we decorate it. And we add things to it to make it more than just a tree. We make it pretty special with a lot of decorations. And the more decorations we put on it, the more the tree looks appealing. But we have to be careful that we don't over decorate it. You don't want to under decorate or over decorate. You want to make sure that you get just the right blend, so that it comes across like it's not overbearing or not that it's too scarce. All right, so let's move over now. Let's shift gears. Let's go sideways to the soccer and soccer development. How does the growth of a tree relate to a soccer development? Well, first of all, the root system of the tree, everything that's going on below the surface is unseen. So in soccer, you have two aspects of the soccer program. I would consider two aspects. You have the development phase, then you have the performance phase. And the development is what you do away from the game, and the performance is what you do during the game. So ideally, we measure everything based on how the game goes, and that should be the teaching learning point of where you go from there. What does the game tell you that you need to improve, in order that your performance can be one that can be successful? And that then goes back to the development phase. What do you do in practice or training that you can improve your performance? So the stuff that we do away from the game field would be the root system comparable to the tree. So we have to nurture that development phase and make sure that we start with the solid fundamentals. First thing we want to do is we want to build a solid base. Just like the tree as it grows, it needs to have a solid base so that it's firmly rooted and it can withstand the pressures of wind, weather, and whatever. So the same way with the soccer development. The starting phases is to have a great understanding and ability to perform the fundamentals. Passing the ball, receiving the ball, dribbling the ball, shooting the ball, heading the ball, tackling. Basic fundamentals. And to the point that we like to get to the point where you can't you practice so much that you can't do it wrong. You have such a good grasp of the situation that because of the repetition and the overseeing of the coach to make corrections as necessary, that you have gotten to a point where you can do it so automatically that you almost cannot do it wrong. So that's the fundamental stage. That's the first phase of that's like the root system. Now, after we get that in place, then we want to start branching out like we would branch out onto the tree. What do we want to do with those fundamentals, and how do we want to enhance those so that the game, we can improve the game? What does our style of play going to look like? What's that tree going to look like? Is it going to fill out and blossom? Is it going to bear fruit? The Christmas tree, is it going to have just the right amount of ornaments on it? Or is it going to be too few or too many? Same way with the soccer player. Can you keep the development at the proper phase? If you try to give too much information and put too much development on players before they're ready for it, and you overload them unnecessarily, that will not be in their best interest. They're not capable of handling all that. So I think sometimes we rush the younger players into overdevelopment because we see something that works with an older group, and we think, "Oh, that's a good drill. Why can't my younger kids do that?" Well, they can't do it because they're not capable of understanding it, first of all, and then secondly, they may not be able to do it physically. So it has to be appropriate, age appropriate. All right. What else do we see as that tree blossoms? And the branches fill out, and the leaves take place, starts to bear fruit. Well, what we see there is the relationship that are going on in all the different areas of development where the tree does produce the fruit. And the team has the same kind of situation where relationships develop in terms of understanding the concept of the game and the concept of the playing style that the coach has developed for the team and the role that everybody has in that. So all that is really important to see how the final performance comes together. So it's whole, part, whole, right? Here's the whole thing, the way we want to do it. Here's how we're going to break it down individually and develop it. And then here's how we're going to put it together and see what the final outcome looks like. So as the tree grows, the branches fill out and the leaves fall into place and fruit is developed. And, when the fruit ripens, we can pick fruit and we can be thankful that the tree has given us that fruit, that it bears the fruit. In the soccer program, once we get the fundamentals down, we start scaffolding onto that and start adding how those fundamentals can come together in group play. Start with small group play, interplay. How do teammates work together? How do teammates work together against an opponent? And then can we build that into a full team situation where we go from small group to large group? Ultimately, it's 11 aside, and we have to come together from the goalkeeper to the forwards. Everybody in between has to have the same plan, has to execute the same plan, understand the same plan, and understand their part in the plan. And all that falls into the idea of combining individual participation with the collective participation. How does the individual in the team contribute to and become a part of the whole process? And the key to it is that they blend so well that they, depending on all the different aspects leading up to it, that they just blow one into the next, and it's almost unrecognizable. It's like a symphony where all the orchestra comes together and everybody comes in at their right time, led by the conductor, and you have one harmonious sound as opposed to a bunch of isolated individual sounds. So as that tree comes together, from the roots to the trunk, to the limbs, to the fruit, the team comes together in the same way, from fundamentals and add-ons and relationships and understanding and the chemistry. All of that then becomes the final product of the development of the soccer player. So performance is based on how we act in the game, and then that determines what we're going to do in training. So we go back from the performance of the game back to the development in the training. If we get a good solid foundation and build off of that, you don't have to then keep going backwards, right? Once the tree's in the ground and it starts to grow, if it isn't growing properly, it's pretty hard to go back and restart that. Probably got to just try again in a different way. But in the soccer program, you can go back. It's just that you delay your progress by having to work backwards. So think of player development as that tree. It grows in two ways, actually three, as Kevin said. It grows down, it grows up, and it grows out. And the soccer program, soccer development is pretty much the same way. It grows individually through the team, through the player, through fundamentals, and then it grows into the player through combination with teammates, and then that connection works against opponents, and then you have your final way of making your performance effective. So individual combined with teammates, working against opponents in a given situation called a game. So performance over development, and then development leading to performance. So they go hand in hand. Whew. I hope that makes sense to anybody, Kevin.
I tell you what, Nate, if you're not awestruck, you hadn't been listening. Holy moly. Man, oh man, that's magnificent. I mean, I could do that. I could do a TED Talk on that. Wow.
Stop you. Go ahead and go for it.
Yeah, I started with a up, down, and out.
Yeah, you got it all started, didn't you?
Yeah, and what's the passing formula? Back?
Up, back, through?
Yeah, up, back, through. Man, that's a genius thing. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's what you come to get at, hey, guess what? This is the 80th session of the United States High School Champions League, starting 11 or thereabouts. How about that, Terry?
Good stuff, Kevin. You're moving right along. 80 episodes. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It don't seem that long ago we did 50.
There you go. And, I mean, to tell you, so, wow. The hits keep on hitting, baby. All right. So, there it is. Another one in the can, babe. And there I go. I'm off.
All right. Chalk it up, Kevin. Have a good weekend.
All right. Cheerio. Bye-bye.